Hello, my name's Sophie and I'm going to take you through a 30-minute full body workout combining stretch and strength exercises. So thank you for joining me. So we're going to take our feet just to slightly wider than the hips, turning the toes on the diagonal, softening through the knees. Draw your tailbone down and in, engaging through your middle, and roll your shoulders up towards your ears and draw your shoulders round and down, starting with some breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale, lift and inflate the ribs, and exhale to release, and just draw those ribs down. Inhale, lift, and exhale to deflate. 3 more here. 2 more, lengthening through your posture and releasing the arms down. 2 more. And 1 more here. And drawing down. So just taking a big stretch across to the right and center, and a nice big stretch to the left and center. Try not to shift the hips in the opposite direction, staying stable down through the lower part of the body and feeling the stretch through the top part of the body, getting that side flexion of your spine. 2 more here. Exhale and inhale. 1 more, stretch across and release. Draw the chin in towards the chest, rolling down towards the floor. Just feeling the stretch all the way down the back of the legs. Release the upper body forward, and then gently on your exhale, rolling all the way back up, engaging through your core, and stack your shoulders up over your hips. Inhale, lift and lengthen through your posture. Exhale, arms down, chin in, and flow down towards the floor, releasing through the head, neck and shoulders, and then rolling all the way back up and draw the shoulders down. Inhale, lengthen, stretch up. Release the arms forward and down, chin in, and exhale, release down towards the floor. Take a breath in here and breath out, rolling all the way back up and shoulders back and down. Inhale, sit to squat, letting the knees go wide in line with the toes, and inhale to release. Sitting back and down and then release. So bringing your arms up in line with your ears and sitting your bottom back. So working your quads, working your thighs, stabilizing through the lower part of the body, but also with this arm lift, feeling the strength running through the back and up through the upper body. Sitting to squat and release. We've got 4 more here. And 3, allowing the knees to track in line with your second toes. 2 more. And then holding the last one. Little pulses here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Bring the arms down towards the floor and release through the legs. Feel that lovely deep stretch running down the back of the legs, and then rolling all the way back up, and then drop the shoulders over the hips. We're going to step wider now, keeping the toes on the diagonal. We're going to take the arms up in line with the shoulders, and we're going to turn your right foot facing the end of the mat and bring your left heel behind you. We're going to take a stretch up towards the sky and bending down into what we call warrior hold. So just making sure that this right knee is tracking wide in line with the hip and over the toes. So deep hold here, feeling the stretch down through this quad, and then on the inner thigh stretch on this left leg here, and a big stretch up. Exhale, sink deep into the hold, and inhale to release. Really important here to make sure that there's a big enough space between the feet to allow you to really sink down into the hold. The lower you can drop into the hold, the harder you'll work. Keep remembering power through the upper body as well, hands in line with the shoulders, and we're going to hold it here. We're going to take a stretch across and then back up to our hold, reaching that left arm up over the head and then back to center hold. Exhale and inhale. 3 more, feeling the power, continuing to hold your warrior position through that right leg. And then 1 more, stretching across. And then back to center hold. We're going to bring the right hand on the inside of the foot. Now, if that's too much, forearm to thigh is the option. And then all the way back up. Dropping hand to the inside of the foot. And then lift. As you return back to your centered position, make sure the shoulders come back over the hips. 2 more here. And lift. And 1 more to hold. Then we're going to release this right leg, taking the hips up towards the sky, so you get this lovely big stretch running down the right leg, holding it here, and then just bending of the knee to release the stretch. So again, hips up and back, allowing that inner thigh stretch through that right leg, and then bending through the knee. Exhale, release, and inhale to bend. Last one. And then hold it here. So you're going to pop the right hand on the outside of the right foot. Top hand comes down as you make a turn into a lunge position. So just take a moment here to get the stretch through the front of that left hip. Open out through the back, hands each side of the mat, and draw the shoulders back and down. We're going to pop the knee all the way to the floor, release the back foot, and lift into a hip flexor stretch. Hips generally become very tight during cycling, so it's really important to open them out, give them a good stretch. Shoulders pull back and down, arms up, thinking all the time of this strong posture. Taking the hands down towards the floor, taking your right hand on the inside of the right foot and sliding your right leg all the way out behind you. Foot is in line with the hip. Hands underneath shoulders. We're going to travel forward and down, leaving the elbows close to the body and then push away from the floor. So traveling forward and down and push away from the floor. It's really important in a press up that you can try and keep your elbows close towards the body. If you do that, your body will just automatically travel in the right direction. So we've got 5 more here. And push. 4 more. And push away. 3 to go. Keeping the foot in line with the hip. 2 more. And 1 more. And then hold it here. So just bending of that right knee, tap the other side of your supporting leg, and then push up to center. So we bend and tap the other side of your supporting leg and push center. So this here is activating glutes and hamstrings. So just making sure you're strong in that push back to center. It's a knee bend and push lift. For 5 and 4. Stay balanced and level through the upper part of the body. And push center. 1 more. And push. We're going to flex the foot and take the toes down towards the mat as we step out to a plank hold. So this is nice and strong in your hold. If you need a bit more support, bottom goes a little bit higher. Otherwise, picking up your right foot and you're going to bring right knee across to left elbow and then push out to center. Exhale, coming across and inhale, center. If you keep the tuck tight, it will activate your core. You'll really feel your abs kicking in to allow that connection of knee to elbow. For 5 and 4, staying stable through the upper body and strong. And center. 2 more. And 1 more. and center, placing the foot down, and a downward dog stretch here. So important to open out the back, soften elbows, get that all important hamstring stretch. Cycling creates really tight muscle through all the way really through your legs, quads, hamstrings, Achilles. It's really important to open out those muscles and let them stretch. And then placing the knees down towards the floor and bring your right foot forward to the outside of that right hand. Release the back foot for a moment, move the hips back towards your left heel, pinning of the right foot, feeling that lovely deep stretch running all the way down the back of that right leg. Hold. And then come through into the hip flexor stretch. Taking the hand on the outside of the foot now as we bring the foot in line with the hip. Curl the toes under and come all the way through into a reverse stretch. Allow the head to drop forward, and then bending through the right knee, take the back foot to flat. Lift and stretch up for our chest stretch. Moving into your warrior hold. Releasing turning of the foot. Big stretch up towards the sky. Releasing down towards the floor, softening through the knees. And then rolling all the way back up. And drawing the shoulders down. Take the hands up in line with the shoulders, turning of the left foot away, heel goes behind you, taking a big stretch up towards the sky and down into that strong warrior hold, making sure there's enough space between the feet, and then release off and lengthen stretch to the sky. Exhale, dropping down, hands in line with your shoulders, and inhale to release. Exhale, lower, checking that your left knee is tracking wide in line with the hip and over the toes. And release. And then last one here to hold. We're going to stretch up and over and return center. So here we've got our strength element in that quad on your left side, holding your warrior position, but then also this lovely deep stretch running down the top side of the body as you come into that side bend stretch. And return center. Last one here. And then return center. So now bringing the hand on the inside of the foot, option is forearm to thigh. And then lift back to center. Exhale, dropping down. And inhale to center. It's important to try and fix that left leg into place. Try and avoid too much movement. You'll get a better opportunity to strengthen if you stay still in your hold. And then hold it here. Just popping that left hand on the outside, bringing the top hand down, and we're going to make that turn into our low lunge hold. So taking a moment to feel the stretch running through the front of that right hip, opening out through the back, shoulders draw back and down. Taking a moment here, and then popping the knee down, releasing of the foot, and into our hip flexor stretch. Opening out through those hips, that all-important hip stretch. Shoulders drawing back and down. Thinking about opening up. We get very tight-chested chest muscles while we're cycling. That sort of tipped forward position. So opening out through the back is so important. Taking the hands down towards the floor. Taking your left hand on the inside of the left foot. And then bringing the leg all the way back, foot in line with the hip. Taking the hands underneath the shoulders, leveling up, and then keeping the foot lifted as we move forward and down, elbows close, and push away. Exhale and inhale. Traveling forward and down, and push away. Exhale. And inhale. We've got 6 more here, trying to stay as level as you can. 5. You don't have to travel all the way down to the floor. You're better off keeping a good technique and have a smaller range of movement. And back to center. 2 more. And 1 more. And back to center. So then we're going to bend this left knee. We're going to cross over our supporting leg and then lift to center with a straight leg. So we bend the knee to cross tap over and then push lift center. Exhale and inhale. Crossing over and lift center. Coming back to center with a strong straight leg, so that you get into the glute on that left side. 4 more and push. The stronger your glutes, the more power and more efficient your performance will be. And push. And 1 more. And back to center. Taking the foot down towards the floor. Come into a plank hold. Option is to keep the hips slightly higher than the shoulders. Picking up that left foot again and bringing knee across to opposite elbow and then lift center. Exhale and inhale. The strong tight tuck creates power through your abs. Coming cross and back to center. 6 to go. And 5. 4 more. Extend away. And 3. Extend. 2 more. And 1 more. And center. Placing the foot down and then coming into a downward dog stretch. So feeling that even weight distribution down through both legs, weighting of the body into the legs and softening through the elbows, having that another opportunity to lengthen out through the back, feeling the stretch down the back of both legs, pushing away from the hands. Coming forward and popping the knees to the floor. And then bringing your left foot forward and wide, and then just teasing through into the hips, releasing the right foot. Keep the left foot pinned and moving the hips back towards that right heel so that you get the stretch running all the way down the back of that left leg and feeling the stretch running through the top of the foot. Stay level through the upper body. And just make sure the hips are square and this right hip hasn't tried to open wide. Coming through into the hip flexor stretch, taking the hand on the outside of the left foot, again lengthening through the back and shoulders, curling the toes under, coming into a reverse stretch, allowing the body to fold forward over the left leg. And then into your lunge hold, popping the back foot to the floor and lifting the right hand up towards the sky for your chest stretch. And then coming up to your warrior hold, hands in line with your shoulders. And then turn, lengthen, stretch towards the sky, feet facing forward, and then just releasing down towards the floor. So just creating a little bit more in a thigh stretch, bending of the right knee, hands just pop in front of the right foot, in a thigh stretch on that left side, and then back to center lift, and then bending through that left knee to feel the stretch running down the inner thigh on that right side. And then coming back up to center. And then from here, moving the hands slightly forward so that the knees can come down underneath the hips. You can roll up, shoulders down, and again, little couple of stretches to each side, just to releasing the sides of the body. Big stretches up and over, And then bring the hands out in line with the shoulders and create a curve through the back, really pushing the spine out behind you. And then opening the chest, getting that all important chest stretch. Rounding through the spine, head comes forward. And then getting the chest stretch. And releasing the arms down to the sides. Coming down into a seated position. And having enough space behind you. Knees bent, feet flat. Taking the hands out in front of you, making sure the collarbones are pulled wide and you're lengthened in your seated position. Then start to round the spine as we engage through the middle so that we lower down towards the floor. Taking the arms up and over the head, link the hands together and then just draw them in and pop the hands behind the head. Make sure you've got enough knee bend and you feel anchored through the feet. Push the lower back into the floor as you lift to the tips of the shoulders, looking to the tops of the knees, and then release. Engaging through the middle first to get the lift, and then release. Be mindful not to close up the elbows. You want to keep the power in the lift coming from your abdominals rather than from your upper body. Lift and hold, and then release. Exhale, lift, and inhale, release. 3 more here, and then release center. Pushing down, ribs slide down towards the pelvis, and release. And 1 more, lift and hold. Taking right leg up to table, and then left. You're going to extend your right leg on the diagonal, and then switch with left leg. Right and left. All the while just resting the head in the hands, keeping the power running through your middle. Keep pushing the back down into the floor and keep the legs controlled. Pushing away and pushing away. For 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 more, and 1, and then resting down. So bringing the knees in towards the chest. And then bring the legs back up to tabletop. Link the hands, place the hands behind the head, elbows into a V shape, and again lifting to the tips of the shoulders. So this time, your option is to keep a single leg, otherwise extend both legs away, and then bring the knees to table. Exhale and inhale. By doing a double leg extend, it just creates or needs a little bit more power through the middle. So just if it's too much, revert to single legs. And then 4 more. Exhale and inhale. 3 more. And 2. And 1 more. And then resting it down and hugging the knees in towards the chest. Linking the hands, hands behind the head, up to tabletop, and again lifting to the tips of the shoulders. We're going to add in some oblique work here, so we're going to add in a rotation. So as you send your right leg away, right elbow comes towards the left knee, and then we come all the way through for the switch. And switch, and switch, and switch. Try not to over-rotate, bringing ribs to opposite hips, keeping high in your lift, feeling those abdominals working hard. Switch and switch. For 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 more, last one, and then just release back to center. So taking the feet down towards the floor, extend the legs to straight. Stretching up over the head, anchoring through the legs, levering the arms, lifting of the head, bring the chin in and sit really tall back in a center position. Follow through to a forward stretch, bringing the head down to meet the arms, pinning of the legs, getting that all-important hamstring stretch, and then come up to a seated position. So now we're going to take the right hand, the back of the right hand, and hook it outside the left leg. Take that left arm out behind you, and then lift back to center. So then left hand hooks to the outside of the right leg, feeling the stretch through that left shoulder, and then back to center. Right hand to the outside of the left leg, getting that twist, feeling the stretch, and center. Exhale, coming across, and inhale, center. 2 more here, and then back to center. And 1 more, exhale and inhale, and then 1 more deep stretch forward, really pushing through into the hips, pinning of the knees, and then come back up to center and release the arms. Bring the knees in and make a turn to an all fours position. Hands go underneath shoulders, knees go underneath hips, just curling the toes under, lift to a downward dog stretch. So weighting of the body into the legs, softening through the elbows, bending the left knee, straighten the right, and just hold that slightly deeper stretch down the back of the right leg. And then switch. So bending the right leg, straightening the left, pushing away from the hands. And then switch, bending of the right, straightening of the left. And then switch, straightening of the left, bending of the right, holding it here. And then teasing both heels down towards the floor. Hopefully there, feeling like you can get a slightly deeper stretch, running down the back of both legs. Softening through the knees now to bring the hands back towards the feet. And then gently start to roll all the way up to a standing position, stacking the spine, bringing the shoulders down over the hips. Lengthen, stretch up towards the sky, linking of the hands, taking the palms up. I'm going to make a turn so that you can see the lat stretch. Just a gentle stretch over to the right and back to center, and then over to the left, and then back to center. Bringing the arms down, just draw the chin in, releasing down towards the floor and hold. Bend the left knee or the left knee, straighten the right leg, and take the right hand up to the sky so you can feel the stretch into your glute and up the back of your right leg, and hold it here. And then release center, then it's bending of the right, straightening of the left, taking that left hand to the sky, and then release back to center. And again, then just rolling all the way back up, and shoulders draw back and down, just turning the head gently to the right and center, and then over to the left and back to center. To the right, hold, bring the chin down towards the chest, and then look left, and then chin down towards the chest, and look right. 2 more here, and 1 more. Draw the chin in, gently semicircle, and then bring the head back to center. Chin in, and look center. Looking up, closing of the jaw, and back to center. Big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Big stretch up and then release. Lifting and inflating of the ribs and releasing the arms. 1 more breath in and breath out. Thank you very much for joining me for that 30-minute workout, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Thank you.